All right. So welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to chill. I'm going to make 3 videos, but the first video we're going to talk about today is the problem with these price drops. I don't think anybody's talking about it so far right now. I've kind of isolated it down to 3 exact problem with these price drops that Tesla have done. And it's really because they kind of went too aggressive with the price drops, in my opinion. But there are 3 real problems that I think, from coming from this perspective, now that I've, thought about it for a few days, hours and days now, but it really has to do with people that have bought in the past. So just something to be aware about, kind of like this PSA, but that's the thumbnail, that's the title, the 3 problems, or the problem with the most recent price drop. So before we get into that, and there's gonna be a couple other topics later on the video, but before we get into that, let's roll through the intro real quick. Thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. We make 2 to 3 videos a day now at this point, so definitely hit that subscribe if you are interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, but more on that later. So if you've been living under a rock, 2 days ago, I think at this point, Tesla made some sizable price adjustments. I mean, I say it's definitely Tesla price clearance, Tesla fire sale, but they made huge price discounts to all their different vehicles. Model 3 standard range went down $3,000. Model 3 performance went down $9,000. Model Y standard range or long range went down $13,000. Model Y performance, another $13,000. And really the 2 vehicles that probably had the most like dollar for dollar discount are the Model S Plaid at $21,000 less, and the Model X Plaid at $19,000 less. So, it's huge. Like if you've bought in Q4 of last year, or even if you bought last year, or really if you buy at any time during when the price was just a lot more, it could be detrimental. So we have a handy dandy Tesla price tracker, if I can find it. Let's see, where'd it go? It's gone now. So let me try and find it really quick. But we can actually track all the different prices that happened in the past of all, what Tesla used to charge for their vehicles. And the prices used to be, I mean, we already know this during, there was a period of time when material cost was higher, inflation was running through the roof. And so we can actually see when the prices of like the Model Y and the Model 3 were the highest it was ever at. So right around June through, of course, today. So around summer through the end of, so really Q3 and Q4, that's when the prices were the absolute highest for the Model Y. And then if we go to the Model 3, it was, probably about that same time, June through the end of the year. So if you bought, this is really a PSA for anyone that bought kind of from June all the way to the end of the year. There's 3 problems that really could arise from this, or really just arise from, the whole market. If you're buying one, you have to kind of be aware from this as well, if you're going to buy a new one as well. So the first problem that comes from this is kind of the financing aspect of it. Like banks that have financed, these high price vehicles throughout last year, throughout the, June and through the end of this year, they've paid, top dollar, or the people have paid top dollar, and then the financing has been top dollar as well. So, there could be a wave of where people default on their vehicles, and the banks are going to be really, really upside down in the vehicles that they finance them, because what happens if a person repos or a person can't pay their loan, they have to then allow the vehicle to be released, and then the bank has to take it to the auction and then try and sell it. We can see this certainly happening with a lot of used dealers, a lot of vehicles, a lot of Tesla dealers, used dealers that have Tesla vehicles that are worth way higher than what they were before. We saw a round of where CarMax was discounting a ton of vehicles, like $10,000, $12,000, $13,000 off the price. So that's that's huge losses across the board on the used side, and also these people that have high loans on their vehicles. it, could be a problem there as well, especially if we go into an environment where people start to default. I mean, we're not saying that exactly is going to happen, but it could be a huge issue on that. The second thing that, so I wrote down here, car bank repo financing. The second thing that could be a problem is car insurance values. Think of it this way, right? So you bought a Tesla Model Y for $66,000 in June of last year, and your car is supposed to be valued at 65 to 70. But let's say worst case scenario, knock on wood, something happens and the vehicle goes into a total loss. Well, the value of that vehicle is not 65, 70,000 anymore. Of course, there's ways to fight that back with the car insurance. They can probably look at, the MSRP or build, but I can certainly see, go into an environment where, so shout out to my friend Jordan, I was talking to this about, I can certainly see into an environment where Tesla insurance companies will want to look at your build of how much you actually paid for your vehicle to kind of assess the value on it. Because at the end of the day, car insurance companies pay you on the value of your vehicle if it's a total loss and not like what you paid of it. So as Tesla just took $13,000 off, or almost $20,000 off if you factor in the tax rate on a Model Y long range, the vehicle value, the insured value of all that stuff really starts to depreciate. So that's just something to be aware about, especially if you have a higher loan in the vehicle and you don't have gap coverage. That's why gap coverage could actually make sense in this environment, or if you can add it to your existing car that you bought in June of last year and you paid a higher price, and that's something to look out to, because knock on wood, if something were to happen, that could be a huge problem at the day. So that's kind of the second thing that's going on with these, I would say, a problem with these $7,500 discounts. Of course, I love the discounts. I like how Tesla has changed their mindset. They want to sell more volume, but these are two things that you should be aware about with these. I guess two things that no one's really talking about these Tesla discounts that actually just happened yesterday. And the third problem with this is just buyer confidence. Like now, that people can be conditioned. They're conditioned to that $7,500 discount in December. They're conditioned to the 70, this current discount where it's whatever it is, $13,000 plus or minus. People are just, there's going to be uneasiness with this. And that's why I feel like Tesla should institute some sort of 30-day price protection policy or something, so that people are more confident into buying a Tesla. Because part of me thinks that this is only just the beginning of the Tesla discounts for this year. We don't know what's going to happen in March with the IRS and the Treasury releasing different guidance. So that could also change the game as well. So, and the third problem with this is just buyer confidence at the end of the day. And we're going to make another video, another topic about what I think Tesla should do to maybe, help people back that purchase that. But that's going to be our second video after this. But before we get into some of the comments, some of the questions, I see some of you joined. Today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon link where you can schedule a call with me after joining. And there's also a variety of different benefits where you can also get my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price, and also really good financing on your Tesla. Because that's what we're here about. That's what we are here to do. That's my mission. And that's why I make videos, because I want to make sure everybody gets the best deal at the best possible price on a Tesla. All right, so let's jump into some of the comments and some of the questions. Let me see. What should I leave on the screen after this? Let's see. I got some surprises for you guys later on in here. I don't want to click it. Maybe I'll just leave Tenet on here. We'll just leave Tenet on the back. A shout out to Tenet for sponsoring some of the videos this month, and check out Tenet down below in the description. Cheese Dip, thank you for the super chat. Love that you keep us up to date. No, thank you. I feel like I was going hard for a little bit, doing 3 to 4 streams and videos a day, and it seems like it's you guys like it. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep it running. And hopefully the content and my perspectives is helpful. IND Fusion, hi Dennis, you're a saver. You help so many people. Truly appreciate your help and support. No, thank you for coming in, dropping that comment. I love it. That's for sure. Detective Pikachu, I'm honored. Welcome back. Just give us FSD. Turn on the software. And I like that comment, because that's going to be my second video today. We're going to talk about it. I got a surprise for you, everybody that's in that camp. So hopefully we can get some, collectively get us, something together. Jed, thanks again. Dennis, no, thank you. Thanks for coming in, hitting the like button, and hitting the subscribe and commenting. Eric Yoon, is now time to buy if you've been waiting? I mean, that's a hard question. I would say it depends. Depends. Do you need a car? If you need a car, if you're trying to trade a car and that vehicle is going down in value, do you have financing locked in? The deal right now it's pretty darn good, especially like for certain models. Like Model 3 Performance has never been as cheap as it's at this price as it is right now, and you get that $7,500 discount, so that's huge. That's for sure. But some of the other ones, like the Model 3 Standard Range, the cheapest Tesla ever at this point, so that might be worth it. And then the Model Y Long Range, I think that's probably the best deal at this point, like balance or dollar for dollar. But it depends. Like it depends on if you can find a vehicle, if you can lock one in by January or February, then that's probably the more key thing, because who knows what's going to happen after March. But at the same time, we could easily see Tesla just being like, hey, here's another discount. So we don't know. This is only the beginning. Part of me thinks this is only the beginning of what Tesla might have a different strategy for the end of the year. Should I buy a Tesla now and collect it and flip it in the future? If you think so, yeah, why not? Should I wait until the new battery will come out? Maybe. Think about buying a Model Y. Should I pull the trigger when passing my Model 3 to a family members? Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad idea. Like if you find one that's in inventory that qualifies for the discount, qualifies for the tax credit, and you do too, then yeah, why not? Then might as well put more Teslas on the road. IND Fusion, how to request a discount waiver on silver metallic color fee on an existing order, which was free earlier? That's a good question. Maybe shoot them a message. That's the only people that can actually give it to you. Anybody else, that's, you could ask them, but as all you can do is really ask. Quick question. If I pay $250 to secure a vehicle, can change my mind and transfer it to another vehicle? I've heard very mixed things on this. Some people said it works. Some people said it doesn't work. Some people think it only works like model within the same trim and model. So it can really, really depends. Cheese Dips. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Pair character dancing under a rain of confetti and taking his hat off to say, "You are amazing." No, Cheese Dip, you are amazing. Thanks for that. That's for sure. Thank you, and thank you. All right, let's jump into the second. If you're new, if you're just jumping into the stream, my name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today, this second video, what we are going to talk about is the Tesla discount clearance actually working or not? And spoiler alert, it seems like it is. We had a huge rocket of inventory come right up, and then it disappeared pretty quickly. So, I mean, I really thought Tesla was going to have way more inventory, but at the same time, it is Saturday. It is, with a weekend right now. So maybe they're just kind of in this lull before it ramps back up. So let's jump into the the content to take a look at some of the screenshots. Tenet, thanks for Tenet for just being here and down the like. All right, so let's jump into it. So if you don't know, there's a huge discount pass recently. Here's a snapshot. Shout out to Christopher Jungeon. He put a really good grid here. And I was thinking about doing this, but put a really good grid here and goes through all the different differences. And it really, the big winners are Model Y long range. If you've been waiting, Model 3 Performance is the lowest price it's ever been. Model S Plaid and Model X, if you got that kind of money, then those are huge discounts as well. And the reason why they did this, if you don't know, is because the IRS and the Treasury released guidance that those vehicles have to be under $55,000 to qualify for the $7,500 tax credit. Moving to mattjung.net, one of our new favorite Tesla website, Tesla inventory track websites pretty recently. You can see Tesla inventory has gone off a cliff. There was at 2,500 vehicles on the 13th, kind of right the second day of that discount when East Coast woke up, because it did happen. The discount was announced, the discount was announced pretty late on the 12th, almost like 8 p.m. PST. And so East Coast didn't really have time to react to it. It was really the 13th is when all the sales and everything happened. And then going to today, we are down back to 1,459 vehicles. And checking the waiting for Tesla site, there was also a huge increase of vehicles that came to the site. We were shocked to see this yesterday when we saw over 1,000 Model Ys become available. but it seems like that was a short-term influx of inventory. Unless it is Saturday, so maybe that department's asleep or something like that. So shout out to 4X Mill Battery. They've been tracking, or Ryan's been tracking this like day by day, giving us like 6-hour, 12-hour updates. And so here's the latest one that I could find. Nearly 36 hours after the Tesla price cuts, we now have inventory stabilization. US inventory is down 3,200 units or 70% from the high. No inventory dispatch, but it could be because it's Saturday, that would make sense. And the backlog is growing. So we could see an influx of inventory on Monday, which would then appease the backlog, or is it just a lot of people are just placing orders? And that's why I said, I made a video specifically yesterday. Do not place an order on the Tesla websites. Go to Waiting for Tesla or Tesla.com and find an inventory vehicle so that you can put your name on one and secure a VIN and secure a date and time frame. Because let's just check. Let's see if the delivery times have adjusted, because that's going to be our real indicator here. So Model 3 seems to be estimated delivery still January, February. Let's see if we can check the Model Y really quickly. I think it was January to March, what it said before, at least what it said yesterday. So yeah, still the same. So this still has not pushed past March, but maybe, I wouldn't put it past Tesla. Like, they could just be locking that in, because this is what Tesla knows, right? They know that the estimated delivery date says March, but they also know that the tax credit, the federal tax credit, changes in March. So they probably don't want to have this say April or anything like that, because then maybe people wouldn't put their order in. They'd be more hesitant to. But this is how they collect all those $250 reservation deposits or order deposits. So, I'm not saying, conspiracy, that's my conspiracy hat on. Like, if I was a Tesla sales website person, I wouldn't want to change that, even if it actually is April, May, June, because we don't know. We don't know. We can only guess what the backlogs are going up to. So shout out to Ryan. He's been tracking this, the inventory counts. To hear that they sold 70% of the inventory in basically 2 days, or 3,200 units, that's pretty massive. And then I found this tweet yesterday from Whole Mars Catalog, and where it says, sources say these Tesla price cuts will not last, so act accordingly. So be very, very careful out there. And so the question is, like, to me, is like, what's the best deal out there? If you were to take a look at all the different models, the Model 3 and the Model Y, which one's the best deal? Which one's the best discount? I think might make a separate, maybe that'll be the fourth topic today, because I was actually going to like price it out on a spreadsheet and just kind of see like what is all the prices after discount, and then kind of see it that way. I actually made a tweet on, so we can take a look at it in a second. But that's the question, like, what's the best deal? Let me know, what you think the best deal is. Do you think it's the Model 3 Performance, or is it the, Model 3 Performance has got competitors, right? BMW M3, all these different performance cars, or is it the Model 3 standard range all the way under at like $37K after the tax rate and things like that? And so the big question with these price cuts that, some of us are asking is like, why did they do it? So this was an article from Not a Tesla App. Of course, it goes into, quote, Tesla massively reduced prices. Here are the new prices. And the second part was, and quote, and why they did it. This was a very interesting read. I like what this person put together, but the TLDR is that, quote, when Tesla executives speak, you should listen. So Talon spoke to reporters just days after the Tesla dropped the prices in China. Her answers provide reasons behind the lower Tesla prices, not in China, but worldwide. And basically it said that, it's not because, quote, not because they didn't have a demand issue. It's because they were pricing and trying to predict what their costs of materials and production will be in the future. It's going down, so then we can pass that discount to the customer now, because to pop up the backlog and the order queue and all that stuff. And to think about it, like Tesla, for a while, the cars have been sold in a traditional way, like wholesaler, like these big vehicle brands like Mercedes-Benz and BMW would sell to dealerships, and then dealerships would sell to customers. And so dealerships would kind of have like this insulary, level right there where, they can charge essentially whatever they want. But, having it go direct from the manufacturer to the customer, there's more control there. The manufacturer can, as Tesla is doing right now, can change the price on a whim, as they've done right now. And, That's basically it. So, it's pretty interesting, that, we should listen to the Tesla executive because they kind of give us the answer on all this. So, but definitely check out this article. I'll put it in the comments, of course, and also the description, so we can take a look. But to TLDR, it seems like the Tesla fire sale or Tesla clearance is 100% working. People are in the queue, but let me know, are you buying a Tesla right now? Have you put a Tesla on order? I put a poll out there because I kind of want to, see what's going on right there. Oh, thank you for 8,000 subs, everyone. Thanks for everybody that's been subscribing. But I put a poll out there and I asked, which Tesla is the best deal right now? All the vehicles qualify for $7,500 tax credit or below, I said 7 hours ago. And it seems like, wow, an overwhelming 63% said Model Y long range is the best deal at $52,990. And then a day ago, I put the question, so are you going to buy a Tesla now because of these massive discounts? And 1.1 thousand people actually voted. Holy crap. 38% said yup. 70% said nope, still needs a lower price of $3,000 to $4,000. There was a couple maybes, and then of course 25% said I already did. And our next topic tonight is we're going to talk about the people that already did, what I think Tesla should do. Let me know what, chime in as well on there. But before we jump into the comments, this video is actually, or this segment of the video is actually sponsored by Tenet. Down below in the description, there is a link to Tenet where you can finance or refinance your Tesla. You can lower your monthly payment or have a low payment because you can defer a portion of that loan all the way to the end, maybe even that $7,500 tax credit. You can actually defer all the way up to 25%, and they allow you to do this because they kind of understands EVs a little bit differently. EVs, I don't want to speak for them, but EVs have lower, well, actually, no, right here. EVs have lower maintenance costs. They hold value in a different way as well. So that's why Tenet has offered this type of financing, which actually makes sense. It actually makes sense if you're looking for the lowest possible monthly payment on a vehicle at all. So that's where you should check out Tenet down below in the description. And thank you to Tenet for sponsoring this video and also a portion of videos this month. So definitely check them out. All right, so let's jump into some of the comments, some of the questions. Let me write down the timestamp. It's funny. I'm doing this a different way these days because I'm going to stream once and then chop up the videos for everybody that, couldn't make it. That's for sure. Detective Pikachu. I'm not happy with these Tesla price drops. This is outrageous. Yeah, I mean, for sure. And Tesla should do something. It's a good PR at the end of the day. And we'll talk about that just next. Baron, I'm so tempted. Which vehicle are you interested? Toro Cars. 400,000 Tesla owners was rug pulled. Unprecedented in car industries. Elon will act to make this right. That's a good, yeah, I mean, I didn't even think about it in like sheer volume numbers. Yeah, 400,000. Yeah, and it's also like not just the US too. It's like across the world, globally, this is happening. And if you've been watching the channel, that's why some people might look at it weird that I, watch the Tesla China market and I make videos about it, but it really, really felt like for at least like 3 months, Tesla China and Tesla Asia would discount their vehicles first, and then the US would follow suit after. So that's why I, constantly highlight it. And it also makes sense because now Tom Zhu, the Tesla China sales executive, is now Tesla Sales Global. So maybe there's a certain strategy there that he just, likes to do and pulls out of his back pocket. So Jed, Model Y, yeah, exactly. Oh, Barrett, I might pick up a Model 3 Performance. Nice. What do you drive now? Because that's the question, right? Because to go from like, a BMW M3 to a Model 3 Performance, that's, definitely an interesting swap. SJP Bacco. I put in an order yesterday. Hopefully it comes next month and I can check it out. Congrats. What is your estimated delivery date? I'm curious. And also, what state are you in if you feel like sharing? I want to see like if people place an order, are they getting pushed? I saw one screenshot someone sent to me. It was like they just placed a Model Y order and it said January to February 15th. So it gets a little antsy there because we don't know with this IRS, Treasury, tax credit, all that stuff. Like they say they're going to announce a new, guidance on March, but we don't know. And I think maybe I should make a separate video on that and like why that's important, because vehicles could lose a portion of that $7,500 tax credit or even that full $7,500 tax credit. But also at the same time, I could see Tesla just being like, here you go, here's an extra $3,750 discount to make it a full $7,500, but we don't know. It's either the Tesla or more crypto. LOL. Okay, yeah. I mean, well, then, investing is better, or just keep it cash, or just invest, keep it cash, 3.5%. Farhan, my Tesla is on hold until March 1st. The thing is, yeah, there'll always be new tech, but with the potential update with Project Highland and new radar and cameras and new shape, still good. Yeah, it seems like the last thing I saw was Highland. Project Highland with the Model 3 is not due till the end of this year. I would just say if you think the deal is good, just purchase it, drive it, and then you can always get another Tesla. I've subtle flex, but I've had 3 weird flex. I've had 3 Teslas so far, but that's because I like driving these vehicles. I like experiencing new vehicles. But I had a Model 3, a Model Y, and a Model S, and I thought of it differently. I was just like, the tech is always going to get better, but I can always get another Tesla, especially with these vehicles. They hold different values, so it's a little bit easier to kind of sell them, especially in the area where I'm in, California. Michael, 400K weren't rug pulled. Elon said prices would come down eventually. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I think at the Q3 earnings call, he did say, the prices are too dang high. And he didn't say that, but he said prices are too high and he wants them to come down. So he kind of gave us a, preview that this might happen. So that's, definitely a valid for sure thing. Let's see if there's any more comments, blah, 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 whatever there is. I'm pissed he's such a swindler. Yeah, I mean, yeah, 1 week wait time in Los Angeles. Yeah, okay, pretty cool. I ordered 2 days ago with custom order, and then 2 hours ago also delivery is on 16th Monday. Okay, so they got some good quick turnaround. That's good for sure. But all right, so welcome. Well, let's see. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, welcome to the stream. Welcome to another video. Today, we are going to talk about what Tesla and specifically, I guess, Elon should do to all the people that purchased a Tesla last year, or even maybe more specifically last quarter, or really just anybody that paid a higher price. With these most recent discounts that just came out, a lot of people feel slighted. I feel slighted even for them too. Like it's an injustice for sure. Like, and if it wouldn't be that bad if it was just like $1,000 to $2,000 or $3,000 discount, but to go $13,000 less on a Model Y long range and not do anything for the customers, I would lose buyer confidence. That's for sure. I'd be livid. That's the thing. So we're going to talk about what Tesla should do. I think there's a couple tweets and also maybe a surprise at the end because I'm starting a movement because I feel for you guys. So we'll talk about that. But usually I guess I roll my intro, but I won't do that. And so if you're new here, if you're just joining the stream, that's what we're going to talk about. And also, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price. And also really good financing. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. We make 2 to 3 videos a day now at this point regarding Tesla content. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description. You can support the channel, and actually Patreon members can actually schedule a call with me as a benefit to ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even getting good financing on a Tesla. And after you schedule the call, you actually get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price. And on that guide, there's actually a credit union that still has to this day rates at 3%, which is absolutely insane financing for a Tesla. So let's just jump into it. So the third thing we're going to talk about, is what Tesla should do. So as you know, there's price adjustments have been crazy recently with all the Tesla vehicles. Model Y and the Model 3 specifically got probably adjusted the most, but the Model Y got dropped $13,000. If you bought a Tesla last year, you almost guaranteed, unless you had a price book order deposit before that, you probably paid a pretty high price. And I feel for you. But this is what I think Tesla should do. So this is shout out to actually someone commented on a video and kind of gave me this idea as well. And also there's like this movement I think that might be happening on Twitter. But shout out to Ross Gerber. He wrote this: Tesla should do a free 6-month trial for FSD owners. FSD for owners that bought a Tesla in Q4 2022. That would be helpful with optics, PR, at Elon Musk. Also, full self-driving should be a subscription add-on for something like $250 a month. We need a higher adoption rate. I think full self-driving, it is $200 right now subscription, so maybe he doesn't have all the knowledge there. But I completely agree with this. Like right now, there is a huge portion of people, I think someone just came in the chat, it's like 400,000 owners that feel slighted with these price discounts, especially if if you bought a Model Y long range, that's a huge $13,000 discount. So I agree with this. I think Tesla, it doesn't, I mean, it's software, right? So it doesn't seem like that it's not a hardware giving them, a cost or something like that. And so full self-driving, they could easily just give them, and I really think they should give it like a 1-year trial to everybody, and not just people that bought in Q4, but I think anybody that, I guess they could really track this. They could feel like they could look and see anybody that paid the highest price, $65,990 or even $62,990. Right now I'm just looking at the Model Y, but it'd essentially be the same thing for Model 3. Anybody that paid those high prices, they could see and look into that, everybody that paid those high prices, and they could give a 6-month to 1-year free full self-driving trial. And it kind of goes twofold, right? Like, yes, those people would feel, so like they got some value, they, got full self-driving and they could try it and all that stuff. And at the same time, it could raise adoption. Like there's going to be a portion of people that get that free trial for 6 months to a year, and they want to keep it because they see usefulness of it. And also full self-driving, is, leading edge, or sorry, could be changing in the next year or two. So it could actually be really, really impactful. And I feel like the owners that get that will feel, that they get, got some value for paying more because they get, a subscription of some sort. So I really feel like Tesla should do that. I think that's more impactful, I would say, than there's been another cause of people, or a lot of faction of people that want to give free supercharging or 10,000 supercharging. But I think full self-driving would be a cooler way to do it because it's the newest tech. Those people would feel like they're part of the club now, essentially, because there is a full self-driving beta club. Not everybody has full self-driving. They could show it off to their friends, and it's really just a talking point at the end of the day. If they, right now, of course, the people that got slighted are, bad mouthing Tesla left and right. But if they got full self-driving and they cool down, and 6 months later from now, they could be, a Tesla fan again, showing off to their friends. They got the full self-driving, can take them from A to B, city streets, highway streets, and all that stuff. So I really feel like that's what Tesla should do. And so that's why I've created a petition. I like my petitions. Our last petition was semi-successful because Tesla actually did it. So our last petition, if you don't remember, was, hey, Tesla, lower your prices to qualify for the Inflation Reduction Act, the $7,500 tax credit, down $55,000 for the Model 3 and the Model Y. And guess what? Tesla listened to us. So this 117 strong that did this, we made a change, or at least we can think we did, essentially. So that's why I've created this petition. And the petition is called Give Tesla Full Self-Driving to Tesla Buyers Who Bought in Q4 2022. And this is my pitch. Tesla massively discounted all vehicles in January. Model Y long range was discounted $13,000. Tesla should give free full self-driving 1-year trial to all purchases in Q4 of 2022. And the date range I just put was October through January 12th. And the reason is because this will raise adoption rate for full self-driving for Tesla and give value to owners that feel slighted due to recent price cuts. That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't even think about people who already purchased full self-driving. So then I guess you should get, would you like 10,000 supercharger miles? Do you feel like that's more value? So I put the petition in the chat. Feel free to sign it. I mean, I'm going to share it to Twitter as well, because I really feel like Tesla should do something. I mean, of course, hopefully they're thinking about what they should do to appease some of the customers, because it does suck. I completely agree. I would be really upset if they dropped the price on me, $13,000. And I actually did buy a Tesla pretty recently too, maybe even last week, if you've been following the channel. And so, it did get me thinking just a little bit when they, dropped the price. So luckily I bought a used one. So, kind of a different aspect on that, but, definitely some pretty interesting stuff. So let me know what you guys think on that, on this, petition, or what do you think Tesla should do? Because there's really only two options, right? They can give full self-driving. I don't think they'll really give a credit. There's no way they'll do that. That would be a huge loss. But I mean, one thing is for sure, this question, or this style of question is 100% going to be brought up during their earnings call on January 25th, which is 11 days from now. And also they're going to get grilled, or Tesla's going to get grilled about, why they did the 7,500 and why they went so deep into discounting across the board for all these different vehicles. Because I still certainly think they didn't necessarily have to go this crazy. They didn't have to drop the vehicles. They could have gone $3,000 to $4,000 or maybe $2,000 to $3,000 at a time. But I get it. They wanted to rip the Band-Aid off and just take it to the next level and at the end of the day, this could just be temporary too. This just could be for January, February until March rolls around, and then we have a different ball game with either price decreases or price increases at that time and day. So let's jump into some of the comments and some of the questions. But this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon link where you can support the channel. And some of the benefits actually include scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, there's a benefit level where you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price. And right now on that guide, there's a financing partner or financing credit union that has interest rates as low as 3%, which is absolutely insane. And another benefit that I actually don't really talk about is all my Patreon members that DM me on Patreon, I actually respond to all of them. So it's like a different way of kind of help for people that don't want to schedule a call. They want to ask me a quick question. I respond to all DMs in the Patreon app 100% of the time. So thank you if you want to join that Patreon link down below in the description, but you don't have to do that. Just being here, watching, hitting the like button, subscribing goes a long way. So I definitely thank you for that. But let's jump into some of the comments and the questions. And I think I got one more video in the back queue or one more topic, because I've been thinking about it a lot. And really the next topic is going to be like, what's the best deal right now, or what do you guys think is the best deal? But let's jump into some of the comments of the question. I see a bunch of you are chopping it away. Hit the like button. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. And some of you might think this is funny. So I think before I get into the questions, it's not there yet. It's I made this a specialized link, and the link is change.org/Tesla refund. So if you think that's funny, then go ahead and sign it. Oh, there we go. William, Ivan, thank you. Let's see. How do I put this back? Tesla refund. All right, I definitely agree with you. My friend got a Model 3 6 months ago, and he was very mad when I told him the Model Y long range at a cheaper price than the Model 3. Yeah, and it's not a good look for sure. Of course, other manufacturers can't do crazy price changes like that. But yeah, it's not a good look, and it just does. People lose buyer confidence at the end of the day. Raymond, keep up the great work. I think giving everyone enhanced autopilot 6K on top of the 7500 adds up to 13K in theory. On top of the 7500? Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they would do that, but yeah, because if you think about it, 7500 times, we could actually calculate it. 7500 times 400,000 vehicles. Ooh. John, what about people who bought FSD with the car? What do they get? Yeah, I didn't even think of about that. So maybe like I should add to this. People that bought FSD would get, I don't know, what would you want? Like I'm not it's hard to put a value on that, right? Like 10,000 miles of supercharging, I guess. But I feel like that wouldn't be enough. Full self-driving seems to have like more value and weight because it's a $15,000 option at this date. But yeah, 10,000 supercharger miles, it's worth like what, $1,000 if that. It's tough. Honestly, a subscription for full self-driving maybe should be $100. They should do a bundle where you pay $1,200 up front with 12 month subscription, 200. Yeah, I mean that's not a bad idea. If I told myself if I'm ever going to be doing a lot of road trips in the future, I would just pay $200 for a month, or maybe even $100 to see if it's well. Actually, no, I wouldn't do that. It's not worth it because road trips are all straight highway. You don't have to do a lane change or anything like that. It's not worth it. Majestic, 10,000 supercharger miles is better. Okay, yeah, then you definitely have a, that could make sense for sure. For this price drop should be free permanently. Like supercharging should be free. That'd be sick. Like, can you imagine if Tesla brings back free supercharging for all their vehicles? That would be absolutely insane. 40K is slighted, but millions more can now afford a Tesla. Yeah, I mean, you got to think of it. That's a good way to think of it, like big picture. More people can buy a Tesla, which is more vehicles being sold, which is more support, more innovation from Tesla, so that when we all get our next Tesla, the next Model 3 or the next Model Y, it will just be that much better, cooler, and innovative. I purchased full self-driving better. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Even if the price is permanent, IRS credit won't be permanent. Yeah, that's true. It could change in March or even next year. Who knows? That's for sure. FSD, not trail, or 20,000 free supercharging miles. Oh, I like that actually. Like I think that would be more in line equal to the full self-driving subscription, or just give people an option, right? But if they did 20,000 free supercharging miles, it would be like a 2 year, maybe even a 1 year expiration. That's for sure. Tesla, Eric, Tesla legacy owners are used to being crapped on. Welcome to the club, guys. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Tapia, they should give us full self-driving for free. Shaking my head. Yeah, I mean, full self-driving, it doesn't really like giving full self-driving. Full self-driving, yeah, for free. But like a time limit, that's for sure. Let's see, blah blah blah. At March, Model Y may qualify as SUV. Then price drop will creep up if wait times are too long. Yeah, that's definitely a valid point. That's for sure. I think I saw one. Abraham, Dennis, should I buy a new Model 3 long range for the new price plus tax rebate, or a 2022 Model 3 long range with USS and 11K for 41K? That's tough. Yeah, because the used market hasn't reflected on the new prices at all. And like the sites that I use to try and adjust the sort of value, it's tough. I mean, I would always prefer new, just because, an extra year of warranty, more mileage, and you're the first owner, but it's tough. Like you have to see, because a brand new one's what, 43K, and it's only what, $3,000 loss depreciation. It's tough. Yeah, it's a hard one to decide on at this point. We need to wait like another couple of weeks to see how the market, handles these price drops on the new side. But it seems like CarMax is, taking it to another level and just gone crazy with their price drops, which was interesting. Like, let's go to CarMax. I want to see these deals that I've been seeing, at least the tweets. Tesla. Or maybe it was just a handful of them that they price dropped in, and not any other more. I usually don't recommend buying cars from dealerships, because they've got all their like miscellaneous fees, processing fees, just like how buying a new Tesla has a destination fee and all that stuff. But sometimes it could make sense. Like Teslas are pretty bulletproof maintenance wise, but buying a high maintenance or a problematic car from CarMax might make sense, because they do have a good warranty. But how many Teslas do they have? 368. Okay, let's see what some of their crazy vehicles are. The Model X. See if there's any like crazy deals here. If they've okay, these are all like the older ones. No refresh at this moment. Let's see Model S to see if there's any refresh ones. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here we go. 90. Ooh, whoa. I did not realize plaids have gotten to that level. Wow. $89,000 plaid. That's crazy value. I think the cheapest plaid we used to saw before this was like $67,000 for 2021, but it did have like 70,000 miles on it. Of course, that probably sold like instantaneously, but it seems like there's going to be some used car deals pretty shortly. So shout out to Alexis. I know she's been waiting for a used Tesla. It's going to be about time. What do you think of Abraham, what price do you think would be a good deal for a used 2022 Model 3 long range? I mean, at this point, that's a 1-year-old car. The new price is $49,000. Yeah, it's because it's $50,000, but then the tax credit is $42,000. So I would want to say a 1-year-old car should be 10% less depreciated. So $38,000, $39,000. That's what I would say. But of course, like, who knows if they'll actually take that number. That's for sure. All right, so let's see. I think I got one more video or one more topic that I want to talk about, and see if I actually have it set up. But thanks for everybody that's been joining on so far in these streams. I'm doing it a little bit differently, so hopefully you guys appreciate the different style of streaming. It seems like more chill. A lot of people like to hang out and ask each other questions, what I like, and I love to try and get to all the comments and questions. But there's a little box on my screen right here where I just see all the comments go, and I try and scroll through and try and get to the whatever I can. But I certainly appreciate all the likes, like joining in, and to this Saturday chill stream. So welcome to another video. Welcome to another stream. Let me do that again. Welcome to another video. Welcome to another stream. Today, we're going to talk about which brand new Tesla is actually the best deal. We'll take a look at all the vehicles because I've already done the math. I did the math and I calculated the retail price minus the tax credit of $7,500. So we'll take a look at which one seems to be the best deal from that perspective because, those Tesla discounts did have some big impact. And, a good portion of people will qualify for that $7,500 tax credit. So if you're new here, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price or just really good financing. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, but more on that later. So if you don't know, just to quickly recap, Tesla prices were discounted massively. So shout out to Christopher Dungeon for putting this price grid together on Twitter. You can see here, it was anywhere from $3,000 discount on the Model 3 standard range all the way up to $21,000 on a Model S Plaid. Absolutely insane. But the one thing that wasn't really, I haven't seen it yet, but no one's really highlighted is what is the price after the $7,500 tax credit. I know there's a lot of confusion still on like how you qualify for the tax credit, what are the stipulations and all that stuff. There's a page from the IRS that shows you which vehicles actually qualify, but the TLDR is any Model 3 or Model Y 5-seat that's under $55K. If it's a Model Y 7-seat, it can be any price whatsoever. And to further clarify that, when it says under $55,000, it has to be just the options. So color, interior color, rims, and all that stuff. It has to be under $55,000. So that's it. And then to qualify for that tax rate, you have to make less than $150,000 if you're a single person and under $300,000 if you are married. And pretty much anybody that's a W-2 employee pays federal tax. So it's not about like, do you get a refund at tax season or not? It's if you basically make above like $70,000 as a W-2 income earner, you pay about $7,500 in federal tax throughout the year on every single paycheck. So you get that back when you file for your tax credit in 2024. And if, this is where, shout out to Tenet for sponsoring this video, I guess, as well. But Tenet has a interesting way of financing that's different from anybody else, but they allow you to defer a portion of your loan all the way to the end, maybe, up to 25% or even that $7,500 tax credit, which would then net you a lower monthly payment throughout the term. So there is a strategy here. If you're looking for the lowest possible monthly payment, this is where Tenet actually could make sense. Or if you're looking to refinance your vehicle for whatever reason, Tenet can actually make sense. So check out the link below in the description. And thank you for Tenet to sponsoring actually a couple of these videos this month. So thank you to them. But let's jump into the topic. I actually made a tweet, and this is where I broke down all the different prices. So a quote from myself, Teslas that qualify for the tax rate with their adjusted price after that $7,500 tax rate. So you can see right here, Model 3 standard range, $36,490. Model 3 long range, $42,490, and Model 3 Performance, $46,490. In under $50K Model 3 Performance. That's crazy. A Model Y, if we're moving to the Model Y standard range, spoiler alert, there is a Model Y standard range. It's not really highlighted anywhere, just like how the long range is not highlighted anywhere. And that's also could be another topic on why, for some reason, they still haven't brought those two vehicles back, the SR and the long range. And we could probably speculate on that. But the Model Y standard range does exist. You can find them in inventory. Shout out to waitingfortesla.com. And so that vehicle after the $7,500 tax rate is $43,490. And then the Model Y long range after the $7,500 tax credit is $45,490. So my question was like, which one do you think is the best deal on this list? And then, of course, this is only valid through March of 2023, so lock down your VINs. I made a video about that PSA yesterday. Do not place a Tesla order on the website. Try and find an inventory vehicle so that you can lock down a car, because the worst thing that could happen is that your delivery date could get pushed past March or even in March, and then the whole thing changes once again with Tesla prices. So here's the question, like which vehicle do you think is the best deal here? I mean, take a look at it. If you're looking like to get the cheapest, most inexpensive, cheap Tesla, of course the Model 3 standard range at basically $36,000 before, taxes, fees, and all that stuff. That's like a slamming deal at that point. And the thing is, like, of course, I know the tax credit you don't get until 2024, but that's where using a financing partner like Tenet could make sense. Like that's where, you defer that 7,500 all the way to the end. And then once you get that tax credit back in 2024, you pay off Tenet and then be on your way, or maybe even refinance after. I probably shouldn't say that because like banks want you to keep the loan as long as possible, but there's a strategy there. Just get Tenet, push off that 7,500, get the 7,500, pay it off, and then refinance. But anyways, maybe you won't like that strategy, but I thought of that the other day. I was like, that makes a lot of sense actually. If you're going for the lowest possible monthly payment at the end of the day. So taking a look at these prices, like, if you're going for like bang for, performance, gung ho all the way out, yeah, of course the Model 3 performance at 46,000, that's the lowest price it's ever been ever, which is absolutely insane. But Model Y standard range, like 43.4, if you take a look at it like this way, like Model 3 long range, like if you're trying to like figure out like dollar for dollar, I want to spend 45,000 or maybe 43,000, the difference between a Model 3 long range and a Model Y standard range is what? $1,000? That's absolutely insane. Like I would argue you and say that a Model Y for $1,000 more because of the space, the SUV feel and all that stuff, the comfortability, maybe even for $1,000 more, that's a pretty slick deal in my opinion. And then essentially you go third row if you really need that space. But Model Y long range at 45,490, $3,000 more. That's arguably worth it for sure as well, because 3,000 is what, like 8% more to get, I would say arguably from a Model 3 to a Model Y. That's like a 20 to 25% more car, like intrinsic value, I guess, for sure. And you're paying 9% more in like the cost. So I think it's worth it. And especially when you boil it down to like monthly payments, that's maybe like, I don't know, $40 a month, $50 a month. I'm just kind of just throwing numbers out there at that point, but definitely, some pretty interesting stuff. So let me know what you guys think is the best deal on a brand new Model 3 or Model Y. And of course, I put a poll out there on the channel in the community tab. I like to put polls every single day to see kind of what's the temperature out there. And so I asked the question, which Tesla is the best deal right now? All vehicles below, I should write, qualify for the $7,500 tax credit. And an overwhelming majority actually said Model Y long range at 52,990. But you know what I should have done? I should have done another poll, and I said it should have said adjusted for the tax rate, because if you look at it this way, it kind of makes sense, 52,990. But then if you look at it, kind of this way, it does kind of seem like the Model Y standard range is the best value. But maybe that's just me. Let me know if you agree on this. And if you think about it, Model Y standard range, the range isn't necessarily highlighted in too many spots, but we can find them if we go to waitingfortesla.com. Shout out to them. They build, he builds a really great site that you can take a look at aggregated inventory across the country. And so right here is here's the cheapest one in the country. It's a Model Y all-wheel drive for 51,990. And you can see the range right there is 279 miles. But if you jump to long range, Yes, I agree. Long range has more miles. You can see right here, it's 330. But the difference between a standard range and a long range is that standard ranges, you can charge all the way up to 100% on daily use. And Tesla says because it's a different battery chemistry and all that stuff, it doesn't affect the battery. So 279 at 100% versus a long range where you're supposed to only charge 80 to 90% on the daily use. So let's say, 90%, let's say 85% of 330 mile range, that's 280. So essentially they're kind of the same range if you were to compare it in that aspect. Now I get it. Charging all the way up to 100% can take, that much more time, because, going from, as the battery fills up, it gets slower for whatever reason, or maybe the charge rates get slower. but you're getting essentially the same range because if you charge to 90% or even 85%, it's basically the same as the standard range. So that's kind of my viewpoint on it. Let me know if you agree on that. But when we look at it this way, it does really seem like the Model Y standard range is the best deal. But then at the same time, like what's 2000? I mean, not what's 2000, but for 2000 of 43,000 or essentially 5% more, you get what, 20% more range, just doing quick maths on the top of my head. But let me know what your guys' thoughts on that. So we're jumping in some of the comments, some of the questions. But before we get into that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon link where you can support the channel. There's a variety of different benefits, but including you can actually schedule a call with me where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the call, you get a link to after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price. And also on the guide, there's a financing credit union that has rates as low as 3%, which is absolutely insane at this point. And another benefit is I actually respond to all DMs that I get in my Patreon app. So if you have any questions, any concerns, or if you want any question answered about buying a Tesla, you will get an answer from me. But you don't even have to do that. Just being here, liking the video, watching and subscribe goes a long way. So thank you for that. All right, let's jump into some of the comments and the questions. So this is the one I just saw, but Terrence, welcome. Hope I get the tax rate next year because Tesla dropped the price right after I took delivery. Okay, so you took delivery this year? Okay, maybe, yeah. Definitely possible. Did you hear about the crash? Yeah. Model Y or GV60? Ooh, that's tough. GV60, what, 60K now? So Model Y is like way cheaper than that at this point. So I would say Model Y, that's for sure. See user, why limit consumer customization choices on Model 3 and Model Y? Did they limit something? Oh, because of the price. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It makes more sense. Let's see, unlimited time left. Okay, weird. Model 3 performance. Yeah, I mean, if you're going like bang for bang performance wise, or if you're used to driving, like fast cars, then yeah, Model 3 performance for $46,000. I mean, what is like a brand new M3 these days? Like price of BMW M3. I want to say it's like 80K. So like, yeah, pretty much there. So basically for half the price, you arguably get a faster car, maybe not as good handling wise, and definitely not, as good luxury quality wise, but it's faster at the end of the day. Cheapest Model 3, 36K. Yeah, exactly. Maybe the cheapest Model 3 was worth it. Yeah, 100%. Like if it depends on what you want to do with it. If you're just looking for, a daily driver that's solid with autopilot and, you just need to drive or whatever, then yeah, like that's 100% worth it in my opinion. Like I literally almost thought about it because it's like, kind of like, why not? You get 7,500 tax credit and, you can put miles on it because I actually do drive a lot and I don't like putting miles on, cars, but, I kind of have to at the end of the day. Fredster, Model Y is pretty comfortable for a tall person. Just test drove it and this seat goes back pretty far. Yeah, it's spacious. I mean, because, it's a different technology, I guess, and they have more space because of the battery and no engine, it's actually very spacious. But the back seat of a Model Y can get pretty uncomfortable. Can we change the petition to full FSD or free supercharging for life, please and thank you? Yes, why not? Why not? Let's just go ahead and do that. Go to the back end here. Hopefully nothing is showing. Uh-oh. Let me see. Let me switch this just in case I don't show anything. I got to get used to the streaming thing because like I want to make sure I don't show anything that yeah, you know what I mean. All right, so go to my petitions, go to full self-driving, go to edit. We got 5 signatures so far, guys. Nice. All right, and then I go give Tesla full self-driving or supercharging miles to Tesla buyers who bought in Q4 of 2022. So 1-year trial or free supercharging miles to all purchasers in Q4 of 2022. Let's see, 23. Let me clean this up a little bit. Hit the save. All right, so it's posted. I changed it. So if you don't know, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I certainly feel like Tesla buyers were slighted especially people that paid, the highest price that the Model Y was ever at, like 65,990 before any options or anything like that. So of course I started a petition. I didn't see anybody else creating a petition because I really feel like, Tesla should do something. And so my petition is actually called change. Let's see, change.org/Tesla refund. If you like that like that URL. But yeah, I definitely think Tesla should do something. And if giving full self-driving like a subscription to the people that bought, I think we go twofold. Like it allows them to try the newest technology, be excited about it again. I mean, buying a Tesla is a very exciting time, but be excited about the new technology, and hopefully like that you would give them more value for their vehicle, which they could feel appreciative of as well. So I just went ahead and changed the petition. Oh, nice. 5 of you assigned. Nice. I like it. I like it. But yeah, let's jump into, let's see. Whoa, Brian, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Dennis. I have a 2016 Model S. Want to sell it to get a Model Y. Where's the best place to sell now? Private party? Thanks for your help. Yeah, for that type of vehicle, because it's 2016, I would say private party. You've got Car Gurus, Auto Trader, cars.com, even Facebook Marketplace, I think, and also these Facebook groups that, there's a huge amount that, have Tesla buying and selling. I would do that. But really it's just everywhere at this point. And then also like, get a quote from a dealer too, like a local dealer, to see like, got to see what is out there for the lowest possible price, in terms of like, if you need to like quickly sell it, that way you can, because selling to a dealer, I always prefer selling to dealers. If you're in the California area, I've got like a couple that are my go-to, or SoCal area, because it's just a lot easier. Like you don't have to deal with someone trying to get financing or paying cash, and you just show up, that you fill up some paperwork and they give you a check. Now I certainly agree it's going to be lower, but there are, certain dealers that like their sole business is private party sales, so they can give you a little bit more value at the end of the day. Top, yeah, Dennis really out here with 250, loads of comments and questions. Thank you. Thanks for jumping in, Top. Thanks for sticking in, because I definitely feel like my niche is, of course, the people that are looking to buy a Tesla, and then after that, like after you buy it, like what's the point, right? Because you don't want it. But thank you for being here, Top. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Churro, thanks for the super chat. Does the Model Y 55K price limit include destination fee and order fee? My car price after reservation with all those fees is $56,630. So to answer your question, it's just the base price plus options. So color, paint, interior, and all that stuff. It's not the destination fee and anything like that. And how you can actually tell is if you go on the Tesla website and you build it like this, you can see it's got like this little indicator right here. So if you go above 55K, it's going to disappear, and then you kind of know what's it's out there. And the really interesting thing is that the tow hitch also pushes it over that limit, but enhanced autopilot and full self-driving, which I do not recommend, but these also, if you go over 55K, it doesn't matter. It seems to be okay as well. I think I missed another super chat, right? I think I did. Who did the super chat? Sorry if I missed you, because I think it was right at the beginning. I'm just scrolling, but thank you everybody for jumping in. I just want to make sure I got to that question, because I feel bad. I feels bad if they did that and I didn't. There we go. Cheese dip. No, I already did you. I already did that one. I guess not. I wish there's gotta be a way I could like just look at all of them to keep it a little bit easier and streamlined, right? Or maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. That's pretty much it. Those are like my 4 topics that I want to talk about. How do I get that link? Which link? Oh, the petition. I think I put it in there. But yeah, if you have any questions, if you can DM me on Patreon down below in the description. It's the only way to get a surefire answer from me. It's because it supports the channel. But yeah. Oh, you pulled the trigger yesterday on a Model Y long range with induction wheels. Nice. Congrats. So that means you got a white with black interior, right? Because you can't really do anything else with the induction wheels. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. Please hit that like if you enjoyed. I'm going to be signing off now, I think. It's funny, when you start streaming, you think about all these other ideas and like, oh shit, I should have done that and I didn't. But it's okay. We got time, right? We can always do it more. Christopher, Dennis, I am watching your blog every day now. Save me money on Model 3. We ordered since you are the very first person who broke the news. It's coming January. Broke the news. It's coming January 28th. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Now waiting for my Cybertruck. Man, we're going to be waiting a long time for the Cybertruck. That's for sure. But yeah, thank you. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for leaving that comment for sure. I just signed the petition. All right, let's hit that refreshy. We're at 5, and the last one we got to 117. So that'd be cool if we could get past 117. But I know a good amount of viewers are going to be, signing this because, I certainly feel slighted for everybody, and I feel like a lot of people feel slighted. So we're going to post this on Twitter at some point, and yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. Please hit that like if you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for jumping on. And yeah, thank you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.